Finally. Am I back? I think I'm back. I apologize for going offline there. Hey, there we go. Gosh, sorry guys, my freaking internet went out of all freaking times for my internet to go out. That's a lot of fun. Sorry. Sorry guys, what's up Abraham? What's up Linda? Intellectual, Jaden Carter, might die today. Luis. What's up? Yeah, what's up Abraham? What's up Jordan? Jordan, what's up? Domino, Owen Glover. Yeah, we're back. Sorry. No, it didn't get taken down. My internet went out like a stupid. What's up, Thomas Lambert, Delium? I am gonna do this every week, Delium. So yeah, sorry everybody. It's just my luck that my internet would just cut out at that perfect moment. Hold on, guys. I gotta change my thumbnail because apparently it didn't load. Uh, Maybe it did. I don't know. No, it didn't load. Dumb. I don't know how to change that. I don't know how to change that. So about episode 3, there obviously I can't say too much about it, but there it's very much like the first 2 episodes. It gets intense at the end, but that's about it. I'm going to do the same thing with Loki. I'm going to do the same thing for all of them. For all of them. I'm trying to change my thumbnail on YouTube because it is not what I put it. Uh, Oddly enough, I I don't really know how to fix that. Am I not live anymore? Can you all? Yeah, you guys are here. It's so weird. Yeah. So, okay, if you watched it, you've obviously realized by now that it was super crazy, super different, way different. And I loved it. I love how different it is. I think it's great. I think it's really great. I think it's great how different it is. It's a risk. I know some people aren't going to like it. It was a big risk by Marvel Studios. So let's real fast though. I think it confirms Mephisto J electricity. I think it does. No, I don't have Spectrum. It's not that bad. Um, right, Owen? Her accent is very different. Okay, so I was told at 327. At 327, it's a Galactus Easter egg. Right there. Hey, look at that. Galactus's helmet. Look at that. Wow. I don't suppose these spider webs are a reference to Spider-Man. Maybe, though. But that is 100% Galactus's helmet. That is 100% Galactus's helmet. 1,000%. That's crazy. You guys see that, right? Like, yeah, you can see this. That's insane. I mean, this holy crap. This is insane. So it's not Galactus controlling, right? Galactus is going to be the big bad. He's going to be the big bad. Who would win in a fight between Thor and Captain Marvel versus Wanda and Vision? Oh, that's a good one. I'm going to go with Wanda and Vision. Hey, thanks, Vic G. This is. Yeah, I did notice, Riley, the repulsor noise during the toaster in the first episode. Hey, no problem, Idago. Bless you too. Next week, Friday. Uh, Friday is when the next it was when episode 3 comes out. It's a very good episode as well. It's when the at the end of this episode it showed that Wanda's pregnant, and the next episode is when they're born. I think the big guy is a sword agent as well because the thing on the back. Yes, it is out, Ethan. It's not Gladys. It's the Grim Reaper. Grim Reaper. I don't know. Looks like Galactus to me, man. But yeah, we got a Hydra Strucker Easter egg in this one, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Wow. Wow. So guys, check this out. So I'm gonna get on a Zoom call now, and I'm gonna do it live with Soup and Soups, another YouTuber, and this guy called Brad who worked with Robert Downey Jr. So he's gonna talk about it. It's gonna be cool. Let me see right now. I'm just gonna text him and see when he's ready to jump on this because it's super cool. This guy's really cool. Both these guys are really cool. Both these guys are super super cool. Um, you know what? It might be the Grim Reaper's helmet. I think it. You know what? It does look more like the Grim Reaper's helmet. So does that mean they're gonna bring Wonder Man into it? Are they gonna bring Wonder Man? Because Wonder Man's the brother of the Grim Reaper, of Grim Reaper. So wow. Okay. Hold on, real fast. Let's jump on this screen. Yeah, the toaster was made by Stark, which is pretty cool. 1 second, guys. How do I don't even know what I'm doing. Whoops. 1 second as I get with these two guys. We're going to have a really cool discussion here. I just need to log into my email. I don't need everybody seeing my password for my email and all that stuff like that. So, yeah, definitely is the Grim Reaper. It definitely is. My camera. I don't know what to do. Why isn't this working? What the heck? Oh, okay, now it's down. Okay, okay. So I'm about to jump on this Zoom call with two awesome guys, and we'll have a full-on discussion, which is gonna be awesome. Yeah, it's definitely the what is the Green Button? Who is doing this to you? I think. I mean, it's. I wonder what the Grim Reaper would have. Yes, you can watch on Disney Plus now. I wonder what the Grim Reaper would like even like be doing like about like this. Interesting. Oh, Roger Wardell said that. Very interesting. Let's check this out. Enter my name for the chat. Alright, I'm going into this meeting now, guys, so let's, I'm gonna show you guys this. Hello? I'm connecting, I can't hear yet. Hello, 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 hello. Hello? I can't hear you, I'm sorry. How do I... Audio... Hello, hello? Hello?
Guys, I'm getting Warren on the screen. You guys can see him there.
Oh, wait, I can hear you now. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Awesome. Sorry about that. All right.
You're good. All right, guys, we're getting on. Warren. Okay, Warren. Thoughts? You just watched WandaVision? Welcome, bro. Marvel is here. Marvel is back.
Yes. Yes.
Woo!
Oh, man. And
So much to talk about.
what a way to kick it off, right? So different.
So
So
different.
so different than anything. But can I just say, and I said this in my review earlier, Paul Bettany in the second episode was fantastic.
So good.
He's
We got
so
like,
good. Oh,
yo, hold up. Some
They're
people,
right. They're right. I just looked at it. It
no
is.
way,
the
It
Reaper?
is.
No. You're
no
talking
way,
about are the people talking about
Galactus.
bro.
It's so
327,
I know I
327
saw it, but
of episode 2.
yeah, but everybody is saying that it's the Grim Reaper. And I think it is. If you look up the Grim Reaper or just Grim Reaper,
Wait, like in the intro, right?
yeah. It looks exactly like Grim Reaper's helmet. I was freaking out too. I was like, "Holy crap, Galactus, holy crap." But then everyone started saying Grim Reaper, and I was like, "Wait a second." And I looked it up, and if you look it up right now, it looks more like the Grim Reaper's helmet than it does Galactus' helmet. And Grim Reaper is
327.
Grim
Wait,
Reaper
where
is
is it?
brother of Wonder Man.
Where is it exactly?
It's like 327, but almost
As Vision
328.
coming, he's coming down through the floor.
Yeah.
Through the floor, right? Hold up. What the hell?
I don't know, guys. Yeah, I mean it. Yeah,
Kind of looks more like.
Oh my god!
I mean,
Bro, they just stuck that in there. Galactus' helmet, bro! What? Oh my god! Some people are saying Grim Reaper. I'm gonna have to do some more research on that for the breakdown.
yeah.
And I'll definitely clarify for you guys when we
sure.
when we cap off this stream.
It definitely looks like Grim Reaper's helmet
Yeah.
more so than Galactus.
more than Galactus.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Holy cow! Then they're obviously doing that.
But
They're
so,
obviously doing that.
Yeah. So Brad, this is my first time meeting you, and it's a pleasure.
Nice to meet you, man. I actually really enjoy your work.
Oh,
so
thank you so much.
yeah, I
I've
watch
been,
your videos all the time.
Oh, thank you. I've been following you for a pretty long time on Instagram, on Twitter, or you just made a Twitter
Thanks,
recently,
man.
though, right?
Yeah, I'm not super active on Twitter,
Gotcha,
but
yeah.
IG for sure.
But yeah, I follow you on on your red carpet with Robert Downey Jr. and everything like that. Super awesome.
Thanks,
so,
man.
pleasure to meet you. I don't have
Wonderful.
Soups
to meet
on
you as well.
camera. Is that because his camera is being used for his live stream right now?
Correct.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. You guys aren't able to see me, but I could hear you guys, and I have you guys both pulled up on the stream. So
Yeah, all good. I specifically borrowed one of my roommate's cameras, his camera, so I could
Oh
have
my-
two.
That's amazing.
So,
But yeah, guys, we got a ton of Easter eggs in the episode. Like I know that I'm gonna go ham on the breakdown. You too, Warren. We got obviously the Baron von Strucker watch.
Yep.
Classic.
The kind of like the Stark Industries infomercial at the beginning of the first episode.
That was
Love that.
awesome. That was
Hearing like
awesome.
Iron Man's repulsor blast in the toaster.
Yeah.
Brad, I know you heard that and you were having like PTSD. You're like
Oh man, killing me.
In the with the Iron Man Team Liquid merch on. Shout out Team Liquid.
Gotta have it.
Awesome. So, Brad, was this your first time watching it?
Yeah. I just dove in, man, and I was telling Soups, I love the mystery and the intrigue
So good.
and how it grows each episode, and I can't wait. It had a Paranormal Activity feel to me when in those films when the white noise and the static would come and you would just get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's how it felt when she found the helicopter, when the guy was choking at the dinner table and his wife was laughing and smiling like, stop it. It is a very uncomfortable feeling, and that just makes me want to know why and what's happening, what's actually happening here. So I can't wait to see if episode 3 takes it up another notch. And episode 2 had
Hey,
two
thank you, Vanguard, for the
instances with the
introduction.
helicopter and the radio.
Right.
Episode 3, I want to see stuff really start to get crazy.
Yeah. So I've seen episode 3. I've seen the first 3 episodes, and I won't spoil it for people because it was really weird like watching this and like having seen it already because it's definitely a different experience.
Yeah.
To watch it for the first time, which I did just with my editor Chris, and it was it was really crazy because it's so different. But one thing I want to ask you guys about was when they in the second episode when Agnes said when they mentioned the devil twice, Mephisto.
Bro. Dude,
Soups and I was just
Warren,
talking about that.
Warren, we were talking about that? Dude, they're doing Mephisto.
It has to
like,
be,
it's so,
right?
It has to be.
Oh,
It has to be.
Sorry.
And Warren, this is something that we talked about
Oh, yeah.
when you brought me on your podcast, on
Yeah.
your channel.
Yep.
You know? Mephisto, this is obviously a villain that is going to be someone that if he were to enter the MCU, he would be the villain of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. But because the show is setting up Multiverse of Madness, I think it also speaks volumes on the way they're building to this story. And again, Warren, remember, the final line of that episode 2 wasn't Wanda, what are you doing? It was Wanda, who's doing this to you?
Right. And I firmly believe it's either Mephisto or the Grim Reaper or Galactus, but I do think it's more Grim Reaper. But I think it has to be him. I don't see any other way because it's like you don't just reference the devil.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more like
Yeah.
Marvel, right? Too. It's like I don't think I've ever heard the devil referenced ever
Mhm.
in a movie, but I mean, I don't know. But to me, that was just like, and they did it twice, right? And especially if you consider the fact that it's like, we all think Agnes is Agatha Harkness, right? You can't convince me otherwise.
Yeah, I know.
And then, her working for Mephisto, and she's the one who said it, about the devil, and she said it, kind of like
Yeah,
almost
man.
like right in your face, right? And she's like, oh,
Yeah.
and I'm just kind of like,
See, if you're just like a casual watcher, you wouldn't pick it up.
right.
But like because we live on this stuff,
Well, we do.
it's clockwork. We know what they're doing. And let's talk a little bit about Agatha, or Agnes, I should say.
Yeah.
Because
Agnes.
we saw her in that first episode. I found her to be extremely pushy. Like she just wanted to be involved more and more with Wanda and Vision's life. And then in episode 2, she played a smaller role than she did in that first episode. But again, she dropped something huge. She kept on saying the devil.
Yeah.
She was obviously at the show at the end. And dude, to be honest, I think that little bunny, like I thought like when that little bunny was gonna be something or like do something. But I thought she was going to be more involved in the second episode, but she obviously wasn't, which means that they have something bigger for her down the line. But they opened up the show off the gates, kind of throwing in your face that this is going to be a bigger character, that there's something wrong with this character. And she wants to be involved with Wanda and Vision for some reason. And especially during that scene where Wanda was cooking and she was literally pushing her out the door and she just kept on. Yeah. So what do you guys think about Agnes?
Brad, take it away.
Well, Warren, we were talking about it earlier, how she kept bringing up Ralph, her husband.
And you never saw
And yeah, and I mentioned to Soups, I think it would be really interesting. I think we all expect Doctor Strange to be in this
1000%.
series. I
Yeah.
think that's self-explanatory. So I was saying if most of these people are under some control where they don't know what they're doing, they don't know who they are, they don't know why they're there, it would be kind of funny if Agatha is making Strange her husband and then talking shit about him. I mean, it would make sense,
Yeah,
right? So
actually,
if he's a prisoner of her in a way, for her to basically say he's never around, he doesn't do anything, he's useless. And if they're enemies, I mean, what's better than to one up your enemy in a way and basically say I'm more powerful and you're useless. So I think that could be interesting. But I do think there's a significance to Ralph, whether it's Strange
for sure.
or somebody else.
For sure. They kept on mentioning him and didn't show him. Ralph
something.
is going to be a huge character.
100%.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Because I noticed the same thing, Brad. I was like, and I didn't catch it until the second episode, and I was like, well, where was her husband? And then I was like, wait, you never saw it? And I was like, that's intentional, because you see everyone, you see all the couples.
Yeah.
You see everyone.
You see everyone.
So
So I was like, that's 100% intentional. She, of course, means something. We know that already. But her husband, Ralph, he is somebody. So I actually really like what you said, Brad. That would be awesome.
I think
Like,
that would be really. I don't think people would expect it, and
no.
Yeah.
Marvel is so tasteful in what they say, what they do, and how they do it. Right.
Yeah.
So there's like we saw the chat found either Grim Reaper or Galactus's
Yeah.
helmet in the intro at a split-second frame.
Right.
So like to me, like once again, Marvel doesn't do anything half-assed, and even having Strucker on the Hydra watch, I
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
it's
thought that
like
was so smart,
Yep.
man. It's just like just the Easter eggs and all of it kind of put together. I'm just even the box, the closet that she was in to disappear.
Yeah.
It
Mhm.
had like the Mind Stone on the
Yeah.
front of it, and I'm
Yeah.
just like this, just the little details what make them so
Yeah,
good.
and speaking of the box, that was actually another time that Agatha mentioned Ralph.
Yeah.
Because remember when they were doing the box trick, she was like, "Can you snap? Can you put my husband in the box?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
Something along those lines. And yeah, man. Obviously, Ralph is gonna be a bigger character. Now going into the next episode, what are your predictions? What are your guys' predictions for the next episode? What do you think we see?
so I mean Warren's already seen it.
I've
So
seen it.
Soups and I was talking about potentially, obviously, she's pregnant at the end of episode 2, so she's
Yeah.
either going to get bigger or she's going to have the kids or both. But time is progressing very quickly, so I expect that to be the case in this one, pun intended. So I'm excited to see what happens. But we're in color mode now, which is exciting. So I think it's going to be fun.
So I will
Dude,
say the
another
next episode, without like giving any real spoilers, because I don't want to
yeah,
spoil it for anybody,
yeah.
is the Brady Bunch theme. Like we
Nice,
move
Okay.
to color and it goes to like that Brady Bunch style.
nice.
Gotcha.
But go ahead, Soup. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
And no, you're good. You're good. But going into this next episode, with the way things are progressing, this show, Warren, me and Brad were talking about it. We thought this show was gonna start off extremely slow.
Yeah.
But dude, judging off of these first 2 episodes, and you've obviously seen the third, it's moving pretty fast, man.
Yeah.
Like we still have 7 episodes to go. There's color. Wanda's pregnant. Dude, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if she actually has the twins by the end of next episode, and
I
they're
agree.
obviously babies. I think that would be definitely one of the bigger things of next episode. And then with 6 episodes to spare, like, dude, you could easily set up Wiccan and Speed,
Oh yeah.
flesh them out in this season, and have them enter the MCU. I mean, again, if Marvel does plan to introduce the Young Avengers at some point, then this would be the time to introduce Wiccan and Speed. So do you guys think we're going to see the development of those characters in this show, judging off of these first 2 episodes?
Yeah, I think we're gonna see them at some capacity. But are we gonna see them grown up? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it is going to get interesting with how quickly things are moving, and I'm curious to see how quickly this situation falls apart. That's what I want to see. How quick is this thing going to fall over? Because already the first episode we had 1 instance, the second we had 2. Third episode, are things going to continue to, up themselves? It's going to get, I hope, it's going to get progressively worse in that way to the point where I think it's just going to get bananas. And it's already bananas. And that's saying a lot.
And I can say that I haven't seen that far. I guess minor spoiler that they don't show that in the next episode. I haven't seen
Yeah.
Grown Up, Wiccan, and Speed. But I think in one of the either a TV spot or a trailer, when Vision on them, they're trick or treating. Like their kids are obviously old enough to walk and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
to some degree, we'll see them at least like maybe like 5 or 6 at least, right?
Yeah.
And I will say having like watched the third episode, the way that time moves is like you can't predict it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really can't.
In the circumstances. So, but there's one thing I want to get you guys' opinion on. So, it's been said, and they haven't directly said like, yes, this is based off of House of M, but they said it's based off of comics and like really popular Wanda Scarlet Witch comics. So it's like House of M. So at the end of the second episode, where we see the Beekeeper, who I want to talk about by the way, but when she sees all this and Vision's like scared, she goes, "No," and then it all like changes. That to me, that was like, no more
Dude,
mutants.
such a reference.
And it was like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, the reality
Yeah.
changes, right? To me, that was House of M all the way.
Mhm.
What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, for sure. It was like her putting her foot down, like,
Yep.
no, this is not happening. And then boom, boom, we go back in time. And dude, to be honest, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect her to literally go back in time.
Yeah.
I didn't expect for us to see that. I expected for us at some point to see her kind of like fast forwarding in time as we move out through these generations.
Sure.
But I didn't expect her to rewind time. And
But here's the thing. Hold on. Is she controlling time?
Yeah.
Or is she just altering the reality? There's a difference.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think it's time travel because someone actually just asked that
Really?
in my chat too. I
Yeah.
think Brad just nailed it. Because it's whether somebody put her there or not, she has some type of control. Like you said, Soup. She put
Yeah,
her
for
foot
sure.
down. She said no, and I
So,
just,
but here's the thing, Warren, real quick.
Yeah.
The beekeeper, she was feeling uneasy with the loud noises, the helicopter crash. Like she was on edge. She was hearing about mysterious people in the neighborhood. So as a defense mechanism, that was me seeing Wanda say, "No one's messing with my family. Enough."
Yeah.
And at this point, she doesn't know it's Sword trying to help her.
Sure.
It's just these weird people coming up into her space, and she was like, done.
Yeah.
So that's when she was like, I'm changing the way this is going, and I'm getting right to where I want to go, which is having a family. So that to me is exciting. Now, if we're gonna entertain the Mephisto idea, if we're gonna entertain that, why would he do this? Why would he manipulate Wanda? Why would he manipulate an entire town of people? What's the purpose?
Mhm.
And I'm asking genuinely, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously he's the puppet master. We're assuming that he's involved. And if he's manipulating Wanda and basically, who knows behind the scenes, basically saying you can create your dream life. And she already has PTSD from everything she experienced in Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
And everything prior to that was Sokovia. So she's mentally
Not there.
broken.
Yeah,
Right.
she's
Broken.
shattered.
So, perfect target.
Yeah, and to like play on that, like to kind of answer your question, I'm a comic nerd, and what happens, at one point with like leading up to the House of M, Mephisto, like impregnating her pretty much, right? With the
Yeah, I
shards
was
in
just
his
about to bring that up.
soul. And
Mhm.
Agatha,
And it's the kids.
Yeah, and Agatha isn't for Mephisto or on his side at that point in time. She is actually helping Wanda develop her powers more. But Agatha does erase the kids from her memory. So she forgets them, and then she starts to slowly remember them. She's like, wait a second, I had kids and all this stuff, and that's when it goes to House of M.
Yeah.
So maybe Agatha is bad, and I don't know. Like, I've gone back and forth. Like, is Agatha good or is she bad? Because she could go either way. She's been good and she's been bad. So one of my thoughts is either Mephisto wants kids. This is a weird way to do it, but Agatha is kind of his puppet as well, right? She's serving him. So she's somehow in this reality, and Mephisto's like, I just want my kids, right? Like, or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
For sure.
He takes them back in the comics. So,
Mhm.
so like, I'd have to think about that a little more if he actually wanted kids. But
Yeah.
that's kind of where my mind's at.
Yeah, and when we're introducing kids of both Wanda and Vision, again, this is another vulnerability for Wanda.
Oh, yeah.
By the end of the show, we're gonna see her go crazy. I feel like that's not really a spoiler. That's like the inevitable.
Yeah.
And with her having kids now, there's more on the table to lose. It's not just Vision anymore. It's Vision and her family. And I just think that's super interesting. And again, we don't really know what's going on here on the broad scope. And if we're talking about Mephisto, I think Mephisto is fully aware of someone like Doctor Strange. What does Mephisto think of Doctor Strange? What does he have planned for Doctor Strange? Has he like encountered Doctor Strange already? Like, what is we don't know anything that's going on with Strange. We're gonna find out about that, towards the end of the show, or maybe in somewhere else. But I think Mephisto would definitely have plans for Strange, considering he's the one that's supposed to protect the multiverse, and that's obviously something that's at stake here. And again, even though Wanda's I don't know if she's more powerful than Doctor Strange. From what we've seen in the MCU, she's more powerful than Doctor Strange, but Doctor Strange is more experienced and he's wiser and he knows how to use his powers. better than she does.
She has raw
So
power. He has
yeah, she's just
actual
raw power.
experienced power.
And that's what's kind of scary to me is we saw her snap at the end of episode 2 and put her foot down, like we said, right?
Yeah.
So if she's getting manipulated, like Soups mentioned, where we think she could potentially be a villain in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Look, if she is tormented with her dream reality of Vision, her kids, a family, a life she always wanted and desired, and then it's ripped away from her, man, that would send anyone in their right mind spiraling, and she's already broken from everything that just happened to her.
Dude,
So-
and that's something that I've been going back and forth with because, like, obviously we have, like, the Wiccan and Speed. Like, if they choose to do Young Avengers, like, they could easily set them up. But at the same time, like, I've been struggling, like, going on and off about this. How crazy would it be that, like, she sees her kids die in this
Ugh.
Yeah.
because they're shards of Mephisto?
Yeah. I thought of that too, and Brad makes like an excellent point when he says like she's so fragile right now.
Yeah.
Just at the end, like I mean, we saw her in the end game, you know, just sitting there thinking about Soups. I know you watched Marvel Legends recap. Did you watch that, Brad?
Yep.
They showed a lot of Quicksilver there, right? It was all about Vision and Quicksilver because they're gone now. Okay, I don't know. Is Vision really alive, right? But if that gets ripped apart too, then it's like I had to watch Vision die again, and then I had to, my kids got taken away, and her just emotionality right now and how fragile she is, yeah, easily could be the villain of Multiverse.
And Soups and I talked about this the other day, and we were talking about maybe hypothetically speaking, I for one don't believe Vision's real right now. I think
Yeah,
either
same.
Wanda created him, or this is what Soups and I talked about the other day. Sword got his remains and is actually doing experiments that they should not be messing with.
Wow.
And that's Darcy's role. Because we know Darcy's in the show and she's coming back as a doctor working for Sword. Would that not be a very important pivotal role to the story for Darcy?
Yeah.
Bringing Vision back,
Yeah.
in a way.
So if they're experimenting on Vision's remains and trying to bring him back, and like what Soups mentioned, if he's tied to this in some way, and for Wanda to win and beat this, she has to kill Vision again, and then kill her kids. Just think about that. To get out of this fake reality, emotionally, she has to kill Vision again and her children.
That would
That's
be
wild. That's wild.
so amazing.
But when you think about it, it's like, okay, yeah, that's enough to destroy the entire. That's enough to send the multiverse. That's enough to rip up the multiverse into shards.
Yeah.
Like.
And that's why it would be amazing, right? I love how it's almost like Joker. Like by the end of the film, I'm like, just kill them all, like please. I want you to. It's what I mean. So it would almost be like that,
Yeah.
You would just feel so much sorrow and empathy for her, and you just be like, just go crazy.
And what's interesting too is she doesn't have Cap. Cap's not there to ground her again. And keep her mentally there. And Hawkeye's not there either.
Yeah.
Okay? So, like, who's there to protect her and guide her through something? She's still a kid to an extent, right? So she doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't know what she's experiencing. She's just rolling with the punches. But she doesn't have that mentor figure that we've seen her have throughout her entire life cycle in the MCU.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking, like, so now Sword's manipulating her, right? And she doesn't have anyone, like you mentioned. Yeah, I mean, at that point, you have nothing to lose. Go crazy, do what you want, right? Because no one's helping you at that point, right? The good guys aren't helping me. The bad guys, are trying to mess with me. I lost everything. No one's there to keep me grounded, like you said. I mean, at one point, do you say screw it, right? I'm the most powerful being in this universe. It's going to be my way.
Facts. Yeah.
Dude, and that's,
yeah.
again, like, this show is something we've never seen before.
Oh.
Marvel literally took the biggest risk they could ever take by doing something that's completely out of their ballpark and just pioneering their universe and pivoting it into a completely different direction. Seeing a hero like that just descend into madness, that is something we've never seen from Marvel. And again, it falls in line with what the show is all about, which is expanding the universe and doing something so different that has never been done before.
You bring up a really good point that just clicked with me now. Obviously, because we're all talking about it, but it was a huge risk for Marvel. And I've had some people in my chat like, I don't really like it because it's so different and weird.
Yeah.
But if they're willing to do this, they're willing to give Wanda kids and then have her kill them. I mean, that's all I'm thinking about right now. If they're willing to take such a big risk, there's no reason why they wouldn't go further.
Look, we have the MCU at the level that we do because Marvel is genius at character development. And what's more character development than what Wanda is about to go through? Okay, we're about to see a whole new arc for Wanda, and it's not going to be rainbows and unicorns. All right, it's going to be nasty. Okay, we're leading towards the multiverse of madness for a reason. And if Wanda is the most powerful person in the universe, as Kevin Feige has stated, she very well easily can rip a hole in multiple dimensions and multiple realities. So especially, we saw her lose her shit in Age of Ultron when Quicksilver died, right? Yeah. So imagine what could possibly happen with now her getting even stronger with the training she went through and the battle she went through. Imagine what she could do when she really blows her top off. That's scary.
Yeah, and I think I actually think that Agatha is going to play a huge role in her development, and like literally showing her how to become a witch. Yeah. Scarlet Witch.
I think she's going to poke her. She's going to keep poking her in the wrong direction. I really believe that. I think she's there as like a Joker, like you mentioned. Like, dude, she's just there to play around.
Again, I just thought about this right now. In this weird alternate reality, it's a secret that they have powers. They keep it like a secret. They have like hidden identity. What if at one point, because Agatha is so nosy, she sees Wanda using her powers. She catches Wanda red-handed, and then she reveals to Wanda that she's just like her. And they start going back and forth, and she starts showing her how to use her powers. Because it's not taboo anymore. Because Wanda knows that Agatha is just like her.
I think Agatha knows everything about Wanda at this point, and Vision for that matter. I think she's there to pretend and manipulate and put on an illusion, literally, that she is just a housewife next door and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But in reality, she's a powerful witch, and she's manipulating this entire situation, most likely from Mephisto.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. And like I said, I've gone on the fence of like, is she going to be good? Is she going to be bad? But I think the way everything's going, I think she's poking at her, like Brad said, and
I think she's bad at her.
She 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, 1,000%.
And you'll see some things in the third episode, where things get odd, and it really makes you wonder. They keep the mystery. They're really good at keeping the mystery.
Can't wait.
Yeah, Paul Bettany said the last three. What did he called it? The turn. Or like everything gets revealed. So, I don't know what episodes 4, 5, 6 hold for us, but
well, he was saying there's 3 ginormous battles in the show,
like endgame level visual effects.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just wild.
Yeah, you know what? Sorry, I'm as we talk, I'm like I'm piecing things together. I think Mephisto has to know about Strange, just because of who he is. And he's like, the master of the Hell Realm. He is the devil, right?
Strange knows about him as well.
Strange knows about him, right?
Reading all those books.
Let's not forget he had the Time Stone, and I'm sure he's going to get it again.
Well, that's the main thing. He doesn't have it right now.
Not right now, right?
But that is a huge power play for anybody else.
Yeah.
Strange without the Time Stone, like that's his trump card, man, and he doesn't have it. He's powerful, but that is his game changer, his ace up his sleeve, and he doesn't have it anymore. So a Mephisto or another witch or villain,
vulnerable.
he is. He's very vulnerable right
Well,
now.
and if you think about it, you know, Sorcerer Supreme is gone. Strange is still young at the arts. Yes, he used the time stone a little bit in his film and like learned in like an accelerated amount of time, but he's really only dealt with two things: Dormammu, which he was thrown into, and then Endgame, right? And all he really did, and I shouldn't say all he really did, but like he went through the future, which obviously takes something to do, but he's using the time stone for that. So yeah, I mean, if you're Mephisto and you're like, I don't want to fight the Ancient One because that's going to be a little bit harder than I want it to be, and it could go either way, but she's gone and now there's this new guy, it's my time. So who's my problem now? Well, if he
And he doesn't have the time stone.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Ancient One's gone and the Time Stone's gone. The two biggest threats, and then you think about it, who's the other biggest threat? Well, I don't want Strange teaching the Scarlet Witch anything because she was clearly the biggest threat. She almost killed Thanos, right? That was very apparent. And Kevin Feige said if he didn't rain fire, she would have killed him.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that has to be what it is, right? I mean, they're just covering all ends almost, and Mephisto's like, it's my time. And Agatha's like, yeah, I'll help you because I'll rule with you, right? Because she's an ancient witch. Cause she's been around since the Salem witch trials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this is just there's so many ways they could take it, man. We're only two, 3 episodes in. There's so many different ways they could take it, and I think after watching these episodes, I think we all just understand just the scope and what's at stake here. Like they're about to blow this universe open.
Oh,
Wide open.
The whole universe. So, are the mutants being introduced in the series? What do you
Dude,
think?
I think he might create the mutants.
Right, I do too.
yeah,
Opposite
same.
of how
More mutants.
No more mutants.
More mutants.
More mutants. All mutants.
But I don't think it's going to be intentional. I think it's going to be a side effect of whatever goes down with this. Like when Monica Rambeau comes in as a sword agent, right? I think she comes in to help and figure stuff out, and she ends up falling under whatever spell this is, right? But in the trailers, we saw her get pushed out. I think, like Soups mentioned, Wanda throws her out, and when she gets thrown out, I think that's how she gets her abilities, because she's passing through through whatever reality or energy or whatever. And once again, like you could dub her a mutant if you want, right? So it's an interesting, I agree. I think Wanda is going to be the reason that mutants exist.
Dude, and even if she doesn't like intentionally create mutants, I think we can all agree that the mutant gene exists in the MCU at this point.
100%.
Yeah.
Like when they introduce mutants, like they're going to establish that the mutant gene has been around this entire time.
Yep.
Now, at the end of the show, where Wanda rips open this hole in the multiverse, that's obviously going to take an insane amount of energy.
Yeah.
That's going to send the entire multiverse into limbo. So what if that is the event that kind of creates mutants by activating their mutant genes?
It activates the gene. Yeah.
And I also thought, I hate to put this on them too, but guys, a certain somebody snapped.
Yeah.
And we know that.
Yeah, we've talked about that too.
That's an enormous amount of energy with the snap, right? And he did that stateside, right? So there's a very good chance that whatever he did on top of whatever Wanda does, maybe it's all connected, and that energy is what activates the mutant gene, like Soups was talking about.
I think that too, because if you think about how Wanda got her powers, I mean, she was activated by an Infinity Stone, and who experimented on her? Hydra. What Easter egg did we see in this one? Hydra. There may or may not be another Easter egg in the next episode. And I don't know what it means because Sword is clearly involved, and what has Hydra been doing all of these years since they've kind of crumbled, right? So I don't know all of that, but I'm with you guys because I think since she got her powers from the Mind Stone and the snap, was stateside, like you
Yeah.
said, and Rocket. I've always thought this is little off track but on track. I've always thought that, like you said, Brett, Marvel's so specific in everything they do. Rocket said it's like the biggest cosmic energy that we've ever seen.
Exactly.
So I'm like, yeah, that means something. Maybe not now, but later. And I think
Yeah.
in later
Dropping
movies.
eggs.
Right. So I'm like, and Kevin Feige came out the other day in an interview, and they were like, "How far in advance do you have?" And he's like, "Past everything we've announced, 5-6 years."
2028.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
2028, 2029.
So when Avengers Endgame came out, they knew exactly what they were doing in Phase 4, Phase 5. Way into the future. They knew everything. So
And I would imagine they're introducing mutants before 2029. I would hope.
100%.
hope so.
100%.
Well, I fully think they're coming in Phase 4. They're just not gonna
Yeah.
address it straight on.
Yeah, but they're setting them up to enter the universe really well.
For sure. So, who's the Beekeeper? Just a sword agent?
I think
Yeah.
it's a sword agent.
Just an agent.
I
But
mean,
once again, if Mephisto is manipulating the situation, it makes sense that he makes the sword agent look menacing,
Right.
right? So Wanda's like, stay away from me,
Yeah.
right? And that's exactly what she did. So I wouldn't be surprised. But that, I think we pieced it together with the trailers that the helicopter that was in her front yard was the helicopter that was circling that whirlwind red dome in the trailer.
dude,
that
that's
it-
another thing
it
that
passed through.
I was going to bring up on the topic of the Infinity Stones creating powers. Dude, we've seen plenty of times in the trailers where we're getting that flashback scene of Wanda getting her powers from the Mind Stone.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're even going back to that means that it's like the people getting powers from the Infinity Stones. That's going to play a role moving forward. I mean, we have Eternals coming out later this year.
Yeah.
Eternals is literally a group of superhumans that were created from the Infinity Stones. And if Monica is getting her powers from Wanda, who got her powers from the Infinity Stones, and that's the way I guess superheroes are being created in this, or just like a group of superheroes are being created in this universe now. Like it sets up mutants to enter the frame, because if maybe mutants are just like the remnants of people who got their powers from Infinity Stones or got their powers from Infinity Stones. Dude, there's just so many different ways they could do it, man. And like we're so early on in the season, and with the way things are moving, and with the progress or just the progression and the pacing of the show, I feel like we're definitely gonna get a ton of flashbacks. We're gonna understand how this reality even came to be. I think at some point in the game we're gonna see Wanda literally right after Endgame, and she's vulnerable, and she gets approached by someone, whether it's Agatha or someone else, to kind of give her the life that she always wanted.
I think she's gonna have a panic attack, and I think shit's gonna hit the fan. I think all the stuff is gonna add up. All the things that are happening are gonna add up, and she's gonna have a full blown panic attack.
Yeah.
100%. And I think that's where things are going to get really scary, because she's once again, she doesn't have the mentors. Vision is there, but he's not there. He's not helpful. He's just there. So yeah, she is very much alone. So it's going to be interesting to see how she deals with this issue by herself. And Kevin Feige and Marvel have come out and talked about that this show is going to touch on mental health.
Yeah.
And what makes the most sense is Wanda's broken, man. She's been put in a blender 10 different ways. And now this is happening, and she may be going up against the literal devil, Mephisto. I don't know, guys.
It's so cool to think about because there's so many things that they could do. And
Yeah, there's so many things.
And they've already surprised us by just how crazy this show is, right? I
Mhm.
mean, it's literally insane. And there's so many different I think Brad's 100% right. Monica flies through that red whatever it is, and that's how
Yeah.
she gets her powers. And Soups, yeah, and I don't know. It's not revealed in episode 3. I want to see that because that helicopter got in there. We've seen that in the previews. I want to see that, and I
Yeah.
think that might be like maybe sword agents going
To infiltrate.
maybe going. Well, how did this happen? And they're kind of recapping it, right? Oh, my camera
Mhm.
battery died on my other camera. Let me just switch it out. Continue, but sorry.
But yeah, you're good. But so Brad, obviously we saw that helicopter at the beginning of episode 2.
Yeah.
Do you think Monica was in that helicopter, and that's how she entered that alternate reality, or do you think Monica is just like just a random person that was
I think it's very possible that she could have been in that town
like before?
before it happened.
She's not in on sword or any of that.
Yeah, because when the helicopter entered, it was a toy size. So
Yeah.
Right.
that's what takes me away from her being in the heli. Maybe she was, but them coming up through the ground through the sewer system, maybe that's how they avoided the energy and
Sure.
the bad stuff in that regard for entry purposes. But
And maybe, sorry to interrupt, but you just
no.
the point about Mephisto maybe making things seem a lot scarier than they are. Maybe it's just like a hazmat suit or something like that, right? For
Oh,
the
100,
energy,
100%.
and then Mephisto's
100%.
like bees, because that's what I was
Yeah.
wondering. I'm like, he comes out of the sewer and bees are like fluttering.
Yeah, why
around
are there
him.
bees? Like
Why
I was
are
thinking about
there
that too.
bees? So maybe it's just like a hazmat suit because of that energy. They don't want to touch
Yeah.
it, so they went under it because maybe it's just a dome, right?
That's what I'm
Maybe
saying.
it's just a
Yeah.
dome. And so I think that might be a hazmat suit, and then Mephisto is like making it more menacing than it actually is because he's like, crap, people are getting in, you're not supposed to get in. Bees.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
like
and it, even with Vision, like I kind of feel like Vision is a puppet of somebody else. I don't think, I
he's
think
fully there.
I think he's there to make Wanda fall deeper and deeper into this fake life,
Yeah.
but also be there and not be of service and not help to an extent, right?
Hmm.
Because even when he saw the bees, like the bee man, like we know Vision is very strong and very powerful,
Yeah.
but he
Yeah.
was like a scared little
He was,
timid little
yeah.
thing. And even in the bed scene where he was timid and scared of noises
Yeah,
outside,
and that's the thing. Like Vision would be the first one jumping in front of Wanda to protect her.
like in
Yeah.
Civil War, when the
Exactly.
explosion happened outside, he's like, "I'll be right back," and he phased through the
Yeah,
wall to
man.
go see what it was.
Yeah.
Like he's you can't kill Vision, right?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
unless you're Thanos,
but then Gum
um,
messes him up. Oh, and that's another thing. He doesn't have like gears, right? So maybe he
like I
is like
said,
built.
yeah,
Maybe he's being
Yeah.
and being controlled somehow. I mean, and
I
the Mind Stone's gone. That's not the Mind Stone.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
So that has to be
Again,
know.
it's just like a figment
Fabricated.
of a figment, or yeah, just a fabrication. And I think just again because someone else is pulling the strings, whether it's Agatha or Mephisto, they know that Vision is Wanda's biggest vulnerability.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
So if their goal is to keep Wanda immersed in this weird like alternate reality, having Vision and using Vision as that ultimate puppet tool, that would be the way to do it. That would be the
But
way to do it.
it goes back to my
And
original
remember,
question.
it was Vision. I think it was Vision, the one that kept on mentioning like for the children or just talking about children in general, right? Am I crazy? Was he the
Well,
one? bringing it up?
no, that was the line that the town said about the charity fundraiser for
Oh,
the
okay.
township.
Yeah, it's for
But
the
but
kids.
that's a very good point. They kept saying that, which kind of teases the whole. Once again, they say that 10 times in that episode, and then at the end of the episode, what happens?
She has
Wanda's
kids.
pregnant.
Yeah. Well,
Again,
and
another reason for her to stay in this alternate reality.
right, and credit to Randall Granger, I think it was. Yeah, Randall Granger, for bringing this up. That Vision could be like a puppet of Wanda, though, because in the choking scene, he didn't do anything until she was like, "Vision, help him." And I remember like,
True.
and leaks are thrown out there, and they're usually, out of 10 of them, one you'll get some good information from. But there was one where it's like, Wanda is creating the reality that she wants. And I think
Yeah.
arguments could 1000% be made for that. This is everything she wants. Now, it doesn't mean somebody else isn't helping control it, but I mean, he could simply be made up by her at the same time, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So,
But I also think like I said, that I think Mephisto still is
oh, of course.
in control,
No, of course.
but he's manipulating Wanda to say, yeah, create your own reality, have
Yeah.
your perfect life, blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, he's still pushing the buttons and calling the shots. If that is the case, and Mephisto is the big bad of this arc.
Hmm.
But I certainly don't think it's Agatha. I think she's a very small piece to this, just like I don't think Kang is the big bad for Phase 4.
Yeah,
No,
for
So,
sure.
no.
you know,
And Mephisto is one of the biggest, baddest villains of Marvel universe. Like, I mean, you're talking about the guy who like Doom can't beat ever, and Doom is one of the strongest characters. You know, Doom goes to the Hell Realm over 100 times and can never beat him. Granted, Mephisto's stronger in the Hell Realm, but you know, a villain that Strange has hard times with every time. Like, he's the big bad. Like, he
Yeah.
has to be. Um,
I still have hope for Galactus. I do.
I
I still think he could
Dude, but
be.
I don't think they're really setting up one central
they're
villain
not.
per se.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
I think
Because again, we've heard rumors here and there about them potentially setting up Doctor Doom for Black Panther 2.
yeah,
Yeah.
just heard
I
that.
mean, Kang is confirmed.
Mhm.
Mephisto, at this point, it's inevitable. So
It
like
certainly looks that way.
they're introducing major villains that could all easily be Thanos level threats,
Oh,
like
for sure.
threats that you literally have to assemble an entire universe to take down.
Yeah.
But they're assembling multiple of them. So it's like there's no way to tell who's if they're really gonna focus in on one villain like they did with the Infinity Saga, or if they're gonna focus on like multiple villains. Like there's just no way to tell how they're gonna go about it.
Well, I'm still mad that when Friday said something entered the upper atmosphere, it was Captain Marvel, not Galactus. But I'll move on past that because I thought for sure it was Galactus. But I think I say
Well,
this.
on that real quick, Warren,
Yeah.
on that real quick. I mentioned this to Soups the other day. I was like, if you're gonna have Monica Rambeau in a show, and then Monica Rambeau goes missing, are you honestly telling me that they're not gonna call her guardian Captain
Oh,
Marvel?
of course.
I mean, is it possible that we see Carol Danvers in the show? I don't know.
I think it's a possibility.
She's the
I think
most
it's very
powerful
possible that we
Avenger.
see Nick Fury.
True.
And again,
I-
Nick Fury has strong ties to Captain Marvel.
Well, he's
Yeah.
got to be
It-
running sword now too, right?
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Far From
saying.
Home, he was
But
there.
is he still in space?
Well,
That's the other thing
that's
too.
what I was gonna say. Like, yeah, you can call him Captain Marvel if she's there.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things there where I was talking to Soups about this the other day. I was like, with these shows, the interconnectivity is what's going to make it work.
Yeah.
That's what hurt the Netflix shows is it was sort of there, but not really. And
Yeah.
that's where you lost a lot of the connective tissue to this bigger picture.
Yeah.
So if they're going to go all in on this, that interconnectivity with, we saw the police officer from Ant-Man, Darcy's coming back. You have those characters that we've seen in the MCU before. That's what's going to make these shows work. So I cannot wait to see. Obviously, Strange is rumored to appear in this. I mean, that's the kind of interconnective tissue that is going to make these Disney Plus shows fantastic.
Yeah, and that's the thing that they've made Strange so obvious at this point. Dude, Doctor Strange, like Benedict Cumberbatch himself, literally pulled up to the WandaVision
To
watch
the
party,
WandaVision watch party
to the
right?
premiere. So like they've made it so obvious that like for me, when I hear Paul Bettany say something along the lines of, "There's this surprise actor that no one's gonna expect that we filmed with that's gonna be on WandaVision." When I hear him say that, I'm like, I mean, everyone's expecting Doctor Strange, so who is he referring to?
I agree.
Who could potentially show up? I mean, are we talking? I think we'll for sure see Quicksilver, at least something of Quicksilver,
something like that.
something. But and it could be any other hero, and we know Kevin Feige loves to sprinkle in and just make sure to let the world know that this universe is connected.
Yeah, he's done his due diligence at saying that, especially when he said it the other day. He's like, oh, some people are gonna debut in Disney Plus, but then they're gonna go into the movies and
Yeah.
vice versa, movies and then Disney Plus and stuff like that. And Brad, you're right. That's why those shows didn't do as well. And the whole thing being interconnected. What I truly think, and Soups, this goes to your point of like all of these villains coming in. I think, and I said this in like a ton of my videos, anytime I talk about the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think 10 years from now, whenever, however long they play, we get Secret Wars. And it's, villains coming together, and then all different versions of different characters from different universes coming together. And I think God Emperor Doom, Galactus, all these, I think, we're going to come together, and then it's going to be this whole out battle. Because what I think is Wanda is going to have that panic attack that Brad said, and then she's going to just break everything when it comes to realities. And then I think they're going to start to collapse into each other, and that's how Battle World, Secret Wars Battle World starts. All the multiverse like collapses and comes into one. And I think that's because how do you top Avengers Endgame? Well, you put in 2 Iron Mans and 2 Captain America and 2 Thor, or multiple versions of this character. You put in Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man in one, right? I think we're already starting to see it. And I think that's why we can have multiple villains through this. And then at one point in time, a year ago or something, all these reports came out that it was like, oh, Marvel's going to have like 2 teams, like the Cosmic Team and the Earthbound Team, and those are going to have their own villains and, et cetera, et cetera. So there's that possibility too. Because Soups, you said something like, the most powerful, or everyone in the universe having to come together to beat, one of the most powerful beings in the universe. And that's a because you have to imagine the Eternals aren't one and done, right?
Nah.
It's gonna be a huge movie, and they said that movie.
They're gonna replace the Guardians.
You think?
That's what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
I mean,
there are deaths talked about. There are rumors of deaths for Guardians 3, Rocket and people. So yeah, I mean.
Yeah, and we know James Gunn isn't coming back for. I don't know if Marvel's gonna do another Guardians trilogy. I don't know if they're.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're. Yeah, like it doesn't seem likely that Marvel would pursue another Guardians trilogy when they have so much on the table already, like Eternals, Fantastic Four, Mutants. So I don't know if they would pursue another Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. So again, now with the introduction of the Eternals, this is another very similar case to Guardians of the Galaxy, a completely new team of characters that again is a risk for Marvel to take to introduce this completely new lineup of diverse characters. They're at this point in the MCU, once they're introduced, they're going to be the most powerful group of superheroes in the entire universe. So it's going to be interesting to see, man, because they're introducing so many people, and because each of these characters are so extremely powerful, like the Eternals alone, man, they were created from the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
The 2 most powerful characters in the universe at this point, Scarlet Witch and Captain Marvel, were both created from Infinity Stones, just like the Eternals.
Yeah.
So now moving forward, I don't think you could just have one villain. I think it has to be multiple villains.
There's too many teams at this point.
Yeah. And then again, they're doing the Fantastic Four, the Avengers,
right, and
Young Avengers.
Yeah. And I don't think they're going to throw all the teams together. Like, you're not going to just, in Avengers 5, it's like, oh, here's the Fantastic Four, Avengers, and X-Men, right? They're not going to do that. That's what I kicked my cat. Sorry. That's what I think is the Secret Wars.
It's going to be more like Infinity War, where you have these little teams like
about. Teams here and there. You have the Fantastic Four and X-Men. You have the Avengers, and the Eternals maybe. But dude, just thinking about that, and just thinking like about a movie where, again, just like using the framework of Infinity War, you have like 2 separate teams of just major characters serving the story. And it's going to be insane, man. And again, coming off of the report that we heard yesterday, Chris Evans is back.
Yep.
Chris Evans is back. We don't know how long he's going to stay. I wouldn't imagine it's for long. But, dude, down the line, when we get this movie that we're talking about, there's no way that movie gets done without Iron Man and Captain America.
I agree.
In that film.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like we know Feige is too much of a nerd to let him make that, and for Cap and Iron Man not to be in there.
And let's be real, we talked about this before. How are you going to beat the portal scene in Endgame? You have portals or dimensions open up, and Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, everybody comes back, baby. And the house will come down.
Absolutely.
Pandemonium.
Yeah. Epic.
Brad, why don't you call up Robert Downey Jr. and we can find
I'm on it. Well, I've always said recently, I'm like, you guys got to leave him alone. Let him go
Yeah,
do
let him
Sherlock,
rest.
other things, and then he'll come back in 5, 6, 7 years, hopefully, and be old man Stark.
Yeah, and I think just what you said right there, if Kevin Feige goes up to all Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., like, look, this is what we want to do. You're going to be in it for like 5 minutes. It won't take much of your time, but it's going to rock the entire real universe.
Planet.
You know?
Yeah, they're not stupid, guys.
No.
They're not just like Toby and Andrew. It's like, hey, do you want to be a part of the MCU for 5 minutes? Oh my God, yes.
Hell yeah.
You know,
Right?
like,
And
come
again,
on.
like, dude, these people have families, and their kids are growing up in a generation
Yeah.
where every single kid their age is talking about the MCU and Marvel.
Yeah.
So it's only beneficial for them to be in the movies where their kids idolize. And dude, it's gonna be wild. And again, right now at this point, we just gotta let Downey rest. But
Yep.
the interesting thing to me with that Evans, with the Evans news that broke that Chris Evans is coming back as Captain America, is that they took a guy that swore time and time again, I'm done with the character. We did everything we could. Yet Kevin Feige pulled up to his door with an arc that was compelling enough to bring him out of the shadows.
Yeah.
Who's to say if there's any man in history that could bring back Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson and offer them an arc that's compelling enough to make them interested to come back, it's Kevin Feige.
Oh, for sure. Oh, and he's already done it. Patrick Stewart admitted he met with Feige. Right? I mean,
Yeah, that's
and
wild.
he said oh, my character's dead. But yeah, and I get that. I've retired the character. I've moved on. I don't want to undo his death, but in a multiverse, you don't have to undo his death. You're just a different version of him. And again,
If I don't see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in the Multiverse of Madness, I'm gonna freak out.
I know, right? Like, missed opportunity, biggest missed opportunity ever. Because again, like I was saying, like it's these actors don't want to come back because they have said goodbye to their characters. They don't want to undo their stories, right? Logan's
Yeah.
dead. Professor Xavier's dead. Logan was a phenomenal movie in my personal opinion, and they said goodbye, and they don't want to undo that, but you don't have to undo it. So it's not hard. Brad, like you said, hey, you want to be part of the MCU? You weren't before, right? You want to be part
Dude,
of the MCU for 5 minutes?
Like, it's confirmed that they're already doing that with Captain America.
Yeah.
The face of their universe, the beating heart of this universe is Captain America. I understand Iron Man is the father of this universe, but like the heart and soul and like the moral compass of this universe is Captain America. And you couldn't have given him a better ending in Endgame. So now for them to not necessarily undo that, but to continue his story in a different way, it speaks volumes on what they can do moving forward with characters like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, oh my God, what's his name? Warren?
Charles Xavier,
Charles Xavier?
No, the actor.
Oh,
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart's Professor X. Like they can do it with literally any character from any Marvel movie of all time.
Yeah, and it would be a smart move if they did. They should. Strictly from, and I know Marvel isn't really in, and Brad, you'd know more than I would. It doesn't seem like they do things for cash grabs. I don't think they need it by any means. I think people are going to flock to see their movies. But anyway, I think they genuinely understand what's going to make for good storytelling and what's going to make fans happy, because Avengers Endgame had some fan service, and I'm not mad about it at all. And I think they know all this. They're smart. Like, Kevin Feige should lead everything in life to me, right? Go, like,
I mean,
manage
yo,
my
did-
life,
did he-
tell
did-
me what
did
to
you-
do. Like, the
Did you
guy
guys hear what Ben
knows.
Affleck said about Feige?
Yeah, I did.
He was like, again, expletive, but this guy knows his stuff. He's the greatest. He knows what the audience wants.
Yeah, for
And,
sure.
and it's proven like time and time again, and that's why Marvel's made a lot of money, but they've made a lot of money because they do it for the right reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Dude, it speaks volumes about how to get this done, like
Yeah.
how to make a successful franchise. Over there at DC and Warner Brothers, I don't want to get into that because I don't want to stress out. I just had a great stream. I don't want to get into that, but
that's
you
a
could see
different conversation.
you could see what they're doing with Star Wars and why Star Wars is now pivoting into a much more successful future. They brought in Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, two fans, genuine fans,
Yeah.
who can actually produce content at a high level. And Feige is the best of both. He's a diehard fan and he's a master producer. So that is the way you do it. You put in a fan and a master producer at the head of these universes, and they will succeed.
I agree.
Yeah, and Favreau. Speaking of him, that guy's phenomenal, and he's on all Marvel
Insane.
executive producer as well. And I think Feige, since the X-Men before the MCU, the dude is a super fan and just the best because he's been in it for
The
so long.
best.
He's the best. Feige, if you see this, you're awesome.
Yeah. Hey man, every premiere I go to, I go out and I find Kevin. That
That's
is my goal at the after party, and I grab him for 5 minutes. We nerd out, and it's a blast. But he is as advertised. He is a genuine dude. He's incredibly smart and creative, and he's a fan. And that's why these movies and TV shows and everything that he touches turns to gold. So
That's awesome.
as long as Kevin's involved, I think we're in good hands. But on that note, guys, I gotta bounce. I love you all.
It's 5
I gotta get
Birdie.
out of here.
Love you guys, but it's late.
But you take it easy, and I'll see you next week for episode 3.
Awesome.
See you next week, brother.
Nice to meet you, Warren. See
Hey,
you soon.
absolutely, Brad. Pleasure. See
Peace,
ya.
Brady.
Peace.
Soups.
Brody. So, Warren, let's talk next episode. Next Friday, we're both going to be back here, sitting here talking about episode 3. Or you've already seen episode 3.
I've seen episode 3.
So I guess, is there anything else you want to talk about regarding these first 2 episodes?
I think
Like
we,
what?
I think we hit
Like
it
when
all.
you watched, look, okay. Look, when you watched it for the first time, what was your general initial reaction?
My general initial reaction first time, Mephisto.
Yeah.
I just think it has that dark horror tone.
Mm.
Because they really did that. They really did
Yeah.
that. Those just intense moments where the guy is choking and
Yeah, man.
no at the end of the second episode, right? And how eerie it got, and I think it's Mephisto because I think the hell reference was a big thing. I think that's what it was. And if that helmet really is Grim Reaper's helmet,
Yeah.
you kind of think of death, hell. The Grim Reaper's probably working for Mephisto, right? Something like that is kind of what I think. So my initial reactions were, first of all, the show is hilarious.
So funny, dude.
It's
I
so
did not.
funny.
Dude, I was telling Brad this, that I never thought out of all of the characters in the MCU, I never thought I could say that I could just sit down and see Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany just do their thing and be entertained.
Oh yeah,
But that's what they did.
that's what they did,
Like
man.
we can see it. We can easily just sit and see Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan be in a room and just go back and forth.
Oh,
But
for
I
sure.
didn't think I would say that about WandaVision.
No.
And that's what completely caught me off guard. And it was charming. It was funny. And again, we're moving more to the modern era. But dude, even in that first sitcom episode where it was super 50s retro, dude, it was so charming. It was so funny. And again, like you said, when they switch on that horror and that just it
Yeah.
becomes really eerie and it gets
does.
super serious. Just that switch in tone. Again, I feel like that's what Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which has been confirmed to be a horror-esque
Right.
movie.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it's going to be all about. And we're seeing elements of that in this series.
Right. And it's just you're gonna get more and more and more, and then like Paul Bettany said, you're gonna have just a full-on Avengers Endgame action, the last 3 episodes, and then it's just boom. Probably
Yeah,
Scarlet
man.
Witch is a villain, maybe not the main villain, but I definitely think we could
Yeah.
easily see her
Dark
go up
Wanda.
against Doctor Strange, which I think would be freaking awesome to see.
Dude. Can you imagine? Okay.
Ugh.
When Paul Bettany says that there's an action sequence that is, it has more visual effects than the effects in Endgame.
Right.
A fight between Scarlet Witch and
Magic.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic.
That could get that job done,
Totally get that job done. Yeah. I'm just so excited because this was such a risk, but Marvel did it. So
Yeah.
that's the future. That's the future. And I think some people are going to be like, hey, I didn't get enough in this. It was just kind of comedy to me, and I could have used a little bit more of that dark stuff. and I could have used a little
Yeah.
bit more of the story. But just hold on. Hold on. I can say the next episode is kind of what we got in the first two. Um, so don't expect Endgame in the next episode.
No, for sure.
But I think hold on, because it's about to get even more crazy than we ever thought it could be. Because we never thought this would be a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just like Kevin Feige said, Paul Bettany said, they've all said like this couldn't have happened in a movie. They couldn't have made this in a movie. It could only be done in this show on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So they know what they're doing. We just talked about how much Kevin Feige's awesome and he's the man and he knows pretty much everything. So I think we're in good hands. Sit tight. I think we're not ready for what's gonna come. And I
We
will
really
say
aren't.
there's some name drops in the next one that just make you go, oh, they said it. And it's not like
Oh
I'm
my
not gonna
God.
say it's like anything like Galactus or anything like that.
No.
But there's some, and you're just like, whoa, it just got like intense. I will say it's emotional. The next one's emotional, and it's really cool.
Oh, really?
Very, 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 very
Awesome.
cool. Yeah, there's some parts where you're just kind of like, whoa, like this is pretty like hitting. It's hitting the characters hard, but it's also hitting me hard. You know. So yeah, super excited. So my initial reaction, to go back to what you said, was this is like literally one of the funniest shows I've ever seen in my life. I was laughing out loud so
funny,
much.
man.
Paul Bettany like drunk on gum in the second episode.
That is my life source.
That's so good. It's so good, and I just thought, holy crap, like that's crazy. What were your initial reactions? They're very fresh right now.
Yeah, man. Again, so refreshing, so different from
good.
anything we've ever seen before. And I love that Marvel is still innovating and taking risks because, people criticize them a lot, saying, "Oh, it's always the same generic, funny MCU movies."
Yeah,
This was extremely funny, but it was extremely different at the same time.
yeah,
And it was still family friendly, and it still fit their formula, but it was still so different. It was so refreshing. And again, seeing Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen just do their thing, like that was awesome, man. And we've never seen that before. And I didn't expect to love them as much as I did in these two episodes.
Yeah.
But I really do. And it gives me a greater appreciation for both Wanda and Vision in like the greater MCU.
it really does. And the great thing is they did it in such a different way that works so well.
So well.
So well. And honestly, they're just fantastic together, like
Yeah, like they click so well.
click
They bounce off
so
each other's.
well. And
They
then you
bounce
see
off each
them-
other so well.
Oh, they do. And then you see them in like interviews and pictures, and they're like, they honestly look like brother and sister, because they're obviously not dating in real life or married
Yeah.
in real life.
Yeah.
But yeah, they click so well, and I think what an incredible idea to just come to somebody's head to say that, hey, we're gonna do this, and just like be
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's
Like-
do it.
Sitcom, Marvel,
Right.
alternate reality, both Wanda and Vision, sets up Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yep.
It's so crazy and
It's
it's so
crazy.
clever.
It really is. It's
This is going to win awards.
yeah. It really is. 2 seconds. Ali
Mm-hmm.
Meddi, happy birthday.
Shout out Ollie.
Shout out.
So guys, with that being said, we've had a long stream of watching WandaVision.
Very
We've sat here for the past hour and 20, 30 minutes just theorizing and speculating for the next episode, which me, Warren, and Brad will all be back here for hosting a watch party just like this for next Friday. So with that being said, I look forward to seeing all of you guys return, come back, watch it with us, and then speculate and theorize with us for the next episode.
Yes.
With that being said, thank you guys for tuning into this live stream. Warren, any final thoughts?
This was a lot of fun. Glad we did this.
So much fun, man.
So much fun.
Dude, besides the WandaVision stuff, like just sitting here and like nerding out together
Right.
after this stuff
Yeah.
is just, this is something you can't get with the movies.
No, and that's what I was thinking. I was like, if this was a movie premiere, I'd go to the movie and then I'd be running home to go do a video and like, you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
like, this is so nice to get to talk with two awesome people who I respect. Guys,
Thank
if you're
you.
not subbed to Subs, you need to go do it right now. Who's
Go sub to
yeah, he's
Warren,
right
Cosmic
here.
Wonder.
Yeah, go sub to him right now. It was so much fun. The show was amazing, and I don't know, just it's a great time to be alive right now. Like
Great time to be alive
2020
indeed.
sucked, but I mean this is a really good way to start off 2021, and I'm grateful for you, for Brad, for all the awesome people in the chat right now that support all of us YouTubers. Like let us live our dreams, and it's just awesome. It's a dream come true.
1000%. So with that being said, guys, Marvel's back. It's so happy to finally. I'm so happy to finally say that Marvel is back.
Marvel's back.
Let's
Phase
go.
4 has begun. We're in it.
Yes, sir.
It's Phase 4 now. Frick.
Oh my God, this is gonna be a crazy journey, man. And I'm so excited to experience all of this from the beginning with Warren and Brad, with you guys watching, because it's only gonna get. We're gonna come back to streams like this.
Yeah, and
When it's all said and done.
Yeah.
And say, damn, look at us.
For real.
What were we thinking?
Me and Soups are gonna be like sitting next to Kevin Feige and be like, we used to do like these streams till 6 in the morning.
Literally, like
screaming,
screaming, assembling the world on these streams at 3 in the morning.
Right. So hey, it's what we love. It's why we're all here right now. It's what we love. So I think it might be time for some sleep.
Yes, sir. Or I'm not sleeping for the next couple of days, bro. There's so much to create.
I know.
So
I was just thinking.
I'm gonna go get to making videos. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Warren, for joining us again. We'll be back here next week to watch episode 3 and break it all down. So, guys, with that being said, thank you guys for tuning into this live stream. I love you guys 3000, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you, Soups.
Peace.
All right, guys. Wow, that was a lot. I don't get the Bernard joke. I don't get it. I've been seeing it. Sorry, I've been trying to be respectful to everybody else. I'm not sure I get it. Can somebody explain it to me? Ultron sucks. Isn't the credit scene as fun? It's just an actor or something I don't know about. Please tell, will Ultron ever return? I can't say. I love you 3002, Thomas Lambert. So I love you 3002, Silva C. Das. You guys are all awesome. It's very late here, and I have videos to make. Thoughts on Flukum Nukum. Thoughts on Doctor Doom and Ghost Rider being connected to Mephisto. I think Mephisto and Doctor Doom have probably one of the biggest connections, and Sumar Bardwaj, love you too. I think the biggest connection would be between Doctor Doom and Mephisto. If you've read the comics, Doom, his mother gets taken to the Hell Dimension and is basically held prisoner by Mephisto, and Doom, he goes and basically Mephisto says that if you can beat me, you can have your mother back. And Doom to this day has not beat him in the comics that I'm aware of, unless something new came out recently that I don't know about. But to this day, he hasn't. Doctor Doom even teamed up with Doctor Strange at one point to go to the Hell Dimension and fight Mephisto to get Doctor Doom's mother back. And Cynthia Von Doom is still kind of in the Hell Dimension. She moved up. She's not quite yet in the world. She moved out of the Hell Dimension, but she's still stuck in another realm. Hey, thanks Geek Studios. It was a lot of fun. I'm so tired. It's 3:27 for me, and I think it's like 5:27 for people on the East Coast, and it's very late. But this was a lot of fun, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Same thing next Friday. I'm going to get working on some videos. I'm going to drink all of the energy right now. I do have my own code for G Fuel. If you want to use code Cosmic, if people like energy drinks, and this G Fuel is a little bit more healthy. But I'm going to be doing all the energy drinks right now and be making some videos. So tomorrow, I'm going to do a breakdown of episodes 1 and 2 that we just saw. talk about the most important things that we saw tonight, the most important things. So I loved WandaVision. I hope everybody loved it as well. I've seen episode 3 already. It's very good. I think people are going to really really like it. And I think this. I don't think we're ready for what the final 3 episodes, 7, 8, and 9, hold for us in WandaVision. I don't think we're ready. I think it's going to be crazy. But I'm ready, but I'm not ready for it. So you're right, Max. It's not worth sleeping right now. And that's why I'm not going to. I'm just gonna bust out some videos and then I'll sleep all day tomorrow. So yeah, this was a ton of fun, guys. It was the first time I've done something like this on my YouTube channel, and I love that you were all here for it. I love that we can all geek out together. I hope you guys liked the chat with Brad, who is awesome, and he's worked with Robert Downey Jr., Kevin Feige. He's a huge guy, and he's a super cool guy. And Soups is awesome too. So next week we'll all get back together again. We'll do the watch party where we all watch it on our own. As you saw, I can't show it on my screen, unfortunately. Maybe one day I'll get to be that big where Disney lets me put it on my stream. But we'll be watching next week, next Friday, same time. It'll be 12:01 a.m. Pacific time, 3:01 a.m. Eastern time in the United States. So I'm gonna go get working. I appreciate everybody who stopped by today. Thank you all. Yes, I do have a Discord server. You can find it, I think, in the About Me section of my YouTube channel. So thank you all so much. This is awesome. I love you all. I'm so glad that you all support my channel and actually like my content. I never thought people would. It's kind of a surreal thing. I was just a nerd talking about movies that he liked and then comics that he liked. And it's this now where I get all of you who are just awesome, and I couldn't be more grateful. I love you guys, and we're gonna be back here Friday, but look out for my videos tomorrow. Hope everybody enjoyed WandaVision. I'll see you all next time.